I love Tears of the Kingdom, and have been absolutely engrossed with the world of Hyrule recently. But there's a bit of a problem. See, I've been farming Lionels to the point that they may be on the endangered species list. Shrine collecting, I got the Master Sword, all the memories, Ganondorf laughing. I've been doing quests, upgrading equipment, rebuilding a town, helping a village elect a mayor. I've been doing seemingly everything. And that includes exploring the surface of Hyrule for all the secrets and quests that it holds, and navigating the dark, gloom-filled, sprawling depths, as well as the Sky Islands. And Tears of the Kingdom was sold on the sky. That was its main differentiating factor compared to Breath of the Wild. What really made Tears stand out on its own 2 feet and not just reside itself to the shadow of Breath of the Wild. It was heavily advertised. Low-gravity situations and a plethora of sky islands that would dot the map, posing various challenges and unique instances of gameplay. And I am a massive fan of sky continents and sky zones in games. I loved Skyward Sword, for instance, so this was very tantalizing to me. And the tutorial area is a massive sky island that served as the perfect tutorial to the new abilities and sandbox of Tears of the Kingdom. I genuinely loved that. See, remember that problem I mentioned before? That problem comes into play with the rest of the sky. And I've made a video a few days ago about how much I enjoyed the depths. But the same cannot be said for the sky. To me, it feels overly simplistic and underutilized. Especially when we saw the potential of sky continent zones with the Great Sky Island that served as a tutorial, where each section wasn't too big, but provided enough room for the style of game that Tears of the Kingdom is to flourish and shine and to show off its various mechanics and creativity in a nice, consumable format. My problem is that the other Sky Islands, outside of a handful, don't have that sense of scale, and feel like little rooms without walls just suspended in air to act as a glorified shrine puzzle to move a crystal around a bit, or to solve a few other types of puzzles that feel a bit too cut and paste for me. Like, sure, do not get me wrong here or misinterpret, there is some variety here, but in terms of layout and execution, it feels far too repetitious for my tastes, and not nearly as diverse as, say, the surface or the depths. A lot of the archipelagos simply devolve into a main platform that has a place for the shrine and a giant piston to launch you into the air that you can rotate about 360 degrees. You launch yourself from that piston, pad, whatever, to get to another sky island to grab a crystal so you can navigate back to the shrine to pop the crystal in for the shrine to construct, and then job done. You walk in, get your little light orb for your upgrades, and walk out, job done. Every now and then you can find a boss made up of Roblox. That is pretty straightforward, at least once you understand how to use Rewind and Ultra Hand and Ascend on it. But that's largely it, and granted, that is one of my favorite boss fights in the game. Now, there are some exceptions here. There is one Sky Island that is shrouded in a dense thunderstorm where visibility is low. There are others, but what they have to differentiate themselves is this spherical room suspended in the air that may have some kind of structure or puzzle inside of it. That is cool. The sense of verticality and navigation you get with the sky is an undeniable benefit to me as well. That sense of freedom and scale is hard to beat and fits perfectly with the vibe of the game. There's a good synergy between the surface and the sky, and even the sky and the depths, where you can go up to the sky and glide down to the surface to cover a vast distance, especially with the Rito ability that pushes you forward with a vortex of air. It's a great convenience to have while traveling. I just wish those individual sky islands and archipelagos were fleshed out a bit more like the Great Sky Island, with a greater variety of puzzles and things to accomplish. Going from a sprawling open world in both the depths and on the surface to a bunch of scattered, more downscaled and bite-sized islands is a good contrast to have, but I feel that most islands don't utilize the potential upside the Sky Islands could have had. which is acting as smaller scale versions of environments and locations that we have on the surface that may lend themselves to different types of encounters and puzzles to solve that feel like more traditional 3D Zelda zone design and scale. It was a bit more of a streamlined experience on the Great Sky Island. It was a little bit more linear in its overall progression. However, there was a feeling with the Tears of the Kingdom formula, with the scale of things you had on the Great Sky Island, that really appealed to me that I just do not get in the rest of the Sky Islands. The verticality of the Sky Islands with different builds, gliders, and machines is also something that has so much potential to create interesting Zelda dungeons to make the sky feel truly unique and memorable as a gameplay experience. We can kind of see that in the dungeons that take place in the sky, like the wind and water temples, where you can utilize that sense of verticality or lower gravity for different kinds of puzzles that change the feel of the game up in such a way that to me is compelling and entertaining and keeps me on my toes. I'm not the biggest fan of either dungeon per se, and feel they rely a bit too much on one type of puzzle without having a sufficiently unique visual or overall experience to coincide with it, like the Lightning Temple did with navigating this ancient pyramid structure. That was cool as a concept, and I really enjoyed the reflecting lighting mechanic. That was cool to me. I like that. I like Wind Waker. It made me remember Wind Waker. I didn't even mind the puzzles in the water temple. It's just, I wish the water temple had like one other thing about it, you know? Like one other type of puzzle. That would have been chef's kiss to me. But it can't just rely on the feel of the experience. You mean, that makes sense? Like, yes, you had low gravity there, which was cool to have for a dungeon, but the water temple just felt like it was missing that one thing to really put in those ranks of a really good Zelda dungeon to me. But I do think that those dungeons gives you an idea of what could have been. I feel like a lot of the marketing ended up going towards the Sky Islands, whereas a lot of the actual development for the game went towards the surface and the depths. And for a game that pretty much prides itself on its diversity of experiences and having so many different things to do at any one time, whether you're in the depths or on the surface, having the sky that to me feels almost one-dimensional. Almost as if they played it a little bit too safe with what you could do in the sky. Like they didn't want to clutter the sky up too much with islands. I feel that detracts from the sky in my opinion. And maybe they are saving something for the DLC, that would be very cool to me. But I would have liked to see the sky have just as much investment and varied experiences as the surface and the depths have in comparison. That's just my opinion, my take, and my impressions though. What I want you to do is leave a comment down below with what was your favorite of the three. The sky, the surface, or the depths, and what was your least favorite, and let me know why. What are your opinions? What are your perspectives? What are your stories? I would love to hear them and hear your thoughts and hear your perspectives. So stay safe, leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. And hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload and stream in the future. Stay safe, have a great day, go play some video games if you can, and as always, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye everybody, until we meet again.